Welcome back to Leeds Lately. Before we get into this one, if you could just hit that big red button down below and also check out all the links in the description. The Creator Cup is coming up soon, and of course there is my affiliate link. If you use Leeds Lately 10 at checkout for back 4 merch, you can get 10% off there as well. Of course my prints are down there as well. Check it all out. Anyway, transfer news. So Leeds have been linked with Nikola Krstovic. The Montenegrin striker plays for Lecce in the Italian First Division, and this season has scored 11 goals and got 5 assists. I made a short about this the other day, talking about it a little bit, but we're going to go into a lot more detail this time. From an XG of 12.1, he scored 11 goals. So he is just underneath his XG, which is really good. Now, when we look at his statistics, and we'll talk about in a little bit the kind of player he is, because Andrea Russo, friend of the channel, he's been on the Dream Teams episodes before, has put out a tweet about Krstovic, because obviously he has a lot more of an ear to the ground in terms of Italian football. So we'll talk about that in a little bit, but we're going to have to talk about a little bit of his statistics. It looks pretty bleak when you look at his statistics. He takes a lot of shots, though. 3.88 per 90 puts him in the 94th percentile, so the top 6%. He will have a go, essentially, is the word in there. He will have a go at goal, and he's somebody who has scored a decent amount of goals for Lecce. There's been a few other teams linked. I think Rangers were linked with him at one point, and his move originally to Lecce was from Red Star Belgrade, I think, and he went up to there only for about 3.9 million euros, and is now touted at being a 20 million euro player. 14 million euros according to Transfermarkt, but I've definitely seen online people saying 20 million. I think that is a lot to pay, but we'll come back to that. So in terms of his statistics then, his shot creating actions, he does create shots for his teammates as well. We explained shot creating actions. Well, we do it in every video, but basically how involved are they in the attacking play? 2.57 per 90 puts him in the 72nd percentile. So he is also creating chances for his teammates, which I think is something that's good to note. And he's pretty decent in the air. Aerials won 2.69 per 90, which puts him up in the 72nd percentile, so way above average. But when you actually look at his passes attempted, 19.15. Yes, Lecce did get relegated from Serie A, so therefore he's going to be in a team who is a lot of the time not dominating the possession. So that puts him down in the 42nd percentile. 66.6% pass completion rate is really poor. Like, yes, I always quote Tony Kroos saying that if your pass completion rate is too high, you're not taking enough risks, etc. That's paraphrasing, but his is 66.6%, which puts him in the 33rd percentile. So really low for that, which means he's only making 2 out of 3 of all of his passes. Progressive passes 1.71 and progressive carries 1.25, which puts him in the 53rd and 55th percentile, respectively. So he's not particularly... he's average. He's very average for some of these statistics. In terms of successful take-ons, again, 42nd percentile. So touches in the attacking penalty area, 4.4, which puts him in the 44th percentile. He's very, very average at a lot of things, but he is good at scoring goals, which leads me on to who he's been compared with. Now, there's Valentin Castellanos, who Leeds were linked with at one point at Lazio. Patrick Cutrone, Como, who used to play for AC Milan, I do believe. Fabio Silva, the Wolves or ex-Wolves player. I can't even remember, honestly. He's spent so many loans from Wolves at Las Palmas. So Mikel Oyarzabal is one that's good to link with, actually, because he at Real Sociedad is somebody who is a really good player. He's the only one in that list that kind of stands out. Now, the reason that I mentioned Andrea was because he's tweeted out this. First of all, a disclaimer to give some context to this. Linked with a different Italian club every day, take your own conclusions. Lazio, Fiorentina and Juventus as a backup is what he was linked with. He said he's got a good goal record, but he is a poacher, a finisher, lots of ups and downs. I wouldn't spend 25 million for him, which is the sentiment that I kind of echo in general, is that he would be a good backup for Leeds. He would be a good throw him on, get a goal at the end of a game. I don't think he's involved in the attacking build-up enough to warrant a position in Leeds' team. I think somebody like Joel Peru, even, he's made a massive improvement over the course of the time he's been at Leeds. In his first season, we said, what's he doing? He's not really getting involved too much in attacking play, but I saw him come on leaps and bounds in his second season, where obviously we've been promoted. And I do think that Peru is somebody who now drops deep, plays passes to his teammates, spins in behind, tries to make those runs into the box after he's done so. And I do think it's important to note that somebody like Krstovic is not that guy. He's not going to do that job for you. So you have to be aware that he is a poacher. He is going to go and get you a goal at the end of games. Now, I think, like I said, 20 to 25 million is what's been touted for him. But for me, his actual transfer market valuation of around 14 to 15 million euros, I think, is more reasonable. If you could get him for 10 million pounds as an extra backup, if you are to get rid of Bamford and Joseph as well, then I think he becomes a viable option. I think the fact that you could sell Mateo Joseph for around 10 million apparently is the rumoured price, that if we were to sell Mateo Joseph, we'd be asking for around 10 million. So I do think that if you were able to sell Joseph for that and then bring in Krstovic for around 12 to 14 million pounds, say, he would be very good in terms of being a backup. But whilst we have other strikers in the squad, I don't think it's particularly a good idea to go and spend that money on Nikola Krstovic, because he is going to be a backup, because he's not the kind of player who would be involved too much in the play, which I also think means that the link loses a bit of its credibility, because I don't think that Daniel Farke and the recruitment team would be looking at somebody like Nikola Krstovic, because I don't think he fits the team. Let me know what you think down in the comments below, but I don't think he fits the team. So I think Andrea also said he is a player suited for Serie A. The intensity is different in England. Now, I saw somebody talk about this the other day. I think it was a clip from Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He was on Hot Ones or something, and the guy was like, what's the difference between like the Italian league and then he was like, and the Premier English Division League? And I was like, wow. But Zlatan was basically saying that Premier League is very fast-paced. It's very forward and back. It's end-to-end football. The Spanish League is very technical. Everybody's trying to play out from the back. Everybody is trying to play beautiful football, he said. He said with the Italian League, it is slower, more methodical, and more tactical, and more defensive in general. So somebody like Krstovic thrives in a league like that, because when the opportunities come, he takes them, but they don't come very often for him. So again, he doesn't really have to be involved in too much build-up, because he just needs to be there when the chance comes, and that's what he's been doing. He doesn't need to kind of be the type of player who builds up the ball and plays nice football, which is what Daniel Farke wants from his forwards. So that's why I don't think Leeds would sign Nikola Krstovic. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Thanks for watching Leeds lately, and I'll see you in the next one.